I'm so excited to share with you for the very first time the AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT.
Hey guys, welcome back to Trendy Gadget. Today we'll talk about why the RX 6000 series will be the GTX 3000 series. Let's head into it. Number 1. The new Radeon RX 6000 series graphics cards. AMD just launched 3 new Radeon RX 6000 series graphics cards that will take on the latest RTX 3000 series of GPUs from Nvidia. The Radeon RX 6800 XT at $649 is up against the RTX 3080. The Radeon RX 6800 at $579 is comparable to the RTX 2080 Ti or RTX 3070. And finally, the Radeon RX 6900 XT at $999 is pitted against the giant RTX 3090 of Nvidia. All 3 are based on the latest RDNA 2 technology from AMD. That is also found inside the PS5 and Xbox Series X. These latest Radeon cards will support hardware-accelerated ray tracing for next-gen games, and in 4K and 1440p PC gaming, AMD promises to go head-to-head with Nvidia. The new Radeon RX 6800 XT is specifically aimed at Nvidia's RTX 3080, promising 4K and 1440p game performance that matches or exceeds Nvidia's latest card for $50 less. It comes equipped with 16GB of GDDR6 memory, a base clock of 2015 MHz, a boost clock of 2250 MHz, 20.74 GPU performance teraflops, and 72 overall computer units. These are AMD's Radeon RX 6800 XT benchmarks at 4K. These are the AMD's Radeon RX 6800 XT benchmarks at 1440p. Number 2. Beating the RTX 3800 in video games. In Battlefield 5, Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Forza Horizon 4, and more, AMD has shared some early benchmarks that show the Radeon RX 6800 XT defeating the RTX 3080 at 4K. It also matches Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Gears 5, and Doom Eternal's RTX 3080. If these findings are similar across a wider range of games, then for strong 4K gaming performance, the Radeon RX 6800 XT certainly looks promising. At 1440p, AMD's own benchmarks are also similar, with the same games being tested. Obviously, we'll need to fully test this card against the RTX 3080, but in a number of games, it looks like AMD has managed to match or beat Nvidia's latest GPU. These performance improvements have been achieved by AMD while keeping the power draw lower than Nvidia's RTX 3080. Up to 300 watts of power is drawn by the RX 6800 XT, while the RTX 3080 draws up to 320 watts. These are AMD's Radeon RX 6800 benchmarks at 4K. These are AMD's Radeon RX 6800 benchmarks at 1440p. Number 3. Radeon RX 6800 vs Nvidia's RTX 2080 Ti. Next up is the $579 Radeon RX 6800 that is aiming for Nvidia's RTX 2080 Ti. In the limited number of games that the company has tested in both 4K and 1440p, it beats or matches Nvidia's older card. According to AMD, it comes equipped with 60 computer units, base clock of 1815 MHz, 2105 MHz boost clock, 16.17 GPU performance teraflops, and 16GB of GDDR6 memory. Interestingly, 250 watts of power is drawn from the base 6800, just 10 watts less than Nvidia's own RTX 2080 Ti Founders Edition. AMD did not share benchmarks against the new RTX 3070, but it just might be another great option for 1440p if it could also match or exceed Nvidia's latest $499 card. Finally, there's a $999 RX 6900 XT that goes head-to-head with the RTX 3090 from Nvidia. While the RTX 3090 has been positioned for 8K gaming by Nvidia, its large 24GB of memory makes it more likely to be used as a Titan replacement by the creative industry. AMD did not choose to bump the memory to its equivalent, keeping the RX 6900 XT at 16GB at GDDR6 memory and therefore offering a competitive price. AMD has bumped its computing units to 80 in total here, but with a boost of 2250 MHz, the core clock remains at 2015 MHz. This all results in a GPU performance of 23.04 teraflops. From AMD's own benchmarks, performance against the RTX 3090 looks much more mixed. While the RX 6900 XT promises to beat the RTX 3090 in Battlefield 5, Forza Horizon 4, and Gears 5 comfortably, in other titles it loses out or merely matches. These are AMD's Radeon RX 6900 XT benchmarks at 4K. Number 4. Extra numbers and features. A traditional 2.5 slot design with regular PCIe connections and a triple fan system that cools the cards is also used by all 3 new Radeon 6000 series cards. As Nvidia has done, AMD has not done any fancy work to shrink its PCB, nor is it introducing a new 12-pin power connector. You'll notice that in all 3 of its new Radeon cards, AMD has opted for 16GB of GDDR6 memory. That's more than what the RTX 3070 at 8GB and RTX 3080 at 10GB have available, but less than the 24GB found found on the RTX 3090. Faster GDDR6X modules are also used by both Nvidia's RTX 3080 and 3090 cards, but AMD chose to avoid moving to expensive and more power-hungry high-speed modules. Instead, with a new Infinity Cache design, the business is aiming for efficiency improvements. The biggest part of AMD's memory improvements here is Infinity Cache. Memory bandwidth in modern GPUs can often be limited to gaming at 4K, and AMD hopes to respond to some of these requirements with a larger, more capable cache instead of higher speed GDDR6X. AMD uses a high-speed 128MB cache based on the design of the company's Zen 3 L3 CPU cache. It is optimized for use with the graphics and compromises twice the bandwidth to deliver. What all this means is that the latest Radeon cards can feed data to the graphics pipeline more efficiently and provide performance improvements without significant power drawing increases. The goal of AMD here was to double the performance of its previous RX 5700 XT card, with only a minor power draw bump. Number 5. Conclusion. Because all of these cards are RDNA 2, that implies they support DirectX 12 Ultimate APIs from Microsoft and even direct storage once it's available. It involves ray tracing accelerated by hardware and variable rate shading. Once direct storage is fully enabled in Windows at some point in 2021, it will further reduce load times on certain NVMe drives. For easy and stable overclocking on these cards, AMD also has a Rage mode. It will be interesting to see how much extra performance from these supposedly efficient cards can be squeezed out. AMD tells me that in testing, it has a new super sampling feature that is intended to increase performance during ray tracing. The company promises it will be open and cross-platform with its super sampling technology, which means it could come to next-gen consoles such as the Xbox Series X and PS5. AMD is working on this technology with a number of partners and expects strong support from the sector. This is a big advantage over Nvidia's GTX 3000 series. On November 18, the Radeon RX 6800 XT and RX 6800 will both go on sale, with the Radeon RX 6900 XT hitting shops on December 8th, while AMD could now match or beat the price of Nvidia's RTX 3070. The saving of $50 on the RX 6800 XT versus the RTX 3080 could be significant. It will all depend on whether the performance promises of AMD measure up to Nvidia's latest cards, as they could offer a great alternative for individuals in the coming months looking to upgrade their GPUs. But I think that the RX 6000 series will beat Nvidia's GTX 3000 series. AMD will hopefully be able to supply sufficient stock for the inevitable demand. What do you think about the RX 6000 series? Do you think it will beat the GTX 3000 series? Let us know in the comment section. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.